Hello everybody, welcome to another true review. Today I'm bringing you Talent Not Included on the Xbox One. It's currently out on the US marketplace at $14.99 and the UK marketplace at $11.99. And what we have is a single screen platformer, whilst on a single screen is not on a single screen because of a clever thing that they've done. The game's actually set on a theatrical stage which ties in with the plot. And this theatrical stage is based on cylinders which bring new areas of the screen into view. So whilst you're actually staying on a single screen, the screen's ever changing around you every time you complete the objective. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself there, so I'll just quickly go over the brief bit of story that we do have here. It's quite tongue-in-cheek and it's set in the world of Notthatmuchfurther, and the game's antagonists actually are bored out of their heads and they hire actors to play heroes, presumably so they can just beat them up and get a bit of enjoyment from them. But these heroes, whilst not having much talent as the game's antagonists think, actually turn out to be pretty accomplished, because you play as in Act 1 you play Cecil the Knight, who has to spin his way through using a spinning blade attack, very small gaps to bypass huge distances. You have Bonnie the Rogue, who has kind of like a stealth ability, or likes to be able to fall onto things that would normally damage her if you time it right. And then finally we have Gundalf the Wizard, who has a blink attack, and is my favourite character by far because he's got a ranged ability where he can fire and shoot the enemies from afar. Whilst it's not a unique idea anymore, we've seen games based on theatrical stages before. I mean, most recently we've had Knee Deep, which was a dialogue-driven adventure game. This is probably the first platformer I've seen. I've seen beat-em-ups, I've seen, like I say, dialogue-driven adventures, but as a platformer, I wasn't sure how well it would work, but it works really, really well, because it kind of like brings a very frantic nature to it. Even though you're just simply dashing left and right on the same screen, it works, because rather than flicking onto a next screen or seeing things scroll into view, the levels are morphing around you when you complete the objective on any said configuration of the screen. Now, how the game progresses, there's 15 levels per act, of which there's 3 of, plus there's a fourth area which is the final boss. In the normal acts, every 5 levels there is a boss encounter, so you fight the boss 3 times per act. In order to progress, you just simply have to get to the golden cog, which again turns the gears and turns the cylinders on the stage, bring the next set of obstacles into view. Do that so many times, get to the flags, and then levels completed. And one thing I really like about this, there's no pressure on getting a good score. You just simply have to complete the levels in order to progress. Nothing's locked away behind the score system, which is there if you want to play that way. Just going on to that, obviously, if you're going for full achievement points, there's an achievement for acquiring all masks in the game, and the mask is the game ranking system. Throughout the configurations of the screen, you have to collect sweets. This builds up a multiplier up to ×5, and then any sweet you get, you'll get ×5 the points, plus ×5 for any enemy kills as well. This is how you build up your big points there. And there's masks available from a wooden mask to a silver mask to a gold mask. And if you want to get all the achievements, you have to get the golden masks in all of the 45 levels, of the game itself, which is no mean feat, but it's one of these games where repetition and learning the levels and shortcuts and how to do things faster really pays off. But as you can see from the screen, graphically it's rather pleasing on the eye, and it's nice to see when the levels spring into life and all the cogs and the cylinders start moving, bringing new obstacles into view. The enemy characters and the hero characters are well defined as well. Sound is probably the game's weakest aspect. Not that the soundtrack is bad in any way, it's just that there's not enough variation in it. You kind of like get the same track per act over and over and over and over, and it does get a little bit grating at times, especially when you are stuck on a level trying to get that gold mask and wanting to repeat it a few times. But in terms of gameplay, it nails it. I mean, while it's on a single screen and you are essentially just dashing left and right on the same screen, it just works really well, and it's so much fun. And there is also, as a bonus as well, local co-op, where you simply have a second character introduced to attempt to tackle the levels together as well. So if you are looking for a new couch co-op game, which isn't one of these horrendous 4-player, 5-player battle or brawler games, which we tend to get an awful lot of nowadays, then this is definitely one to you know, investigate and have a look at. But yeah, I really liked Talent Not Included. I don't think it's going to be a very difficult one to achieve all the 1000 gamer score there. I'd say the hardest one is definitely going to be getting all the gold masks, but a little bit of learning of the levels, and that shouldn't be too much trouble for any seasoned achievement hunter out there. But yeah, really pleased with this game. I would like to see it probably a little bit cheaper in price, maybe just under £10. That's just my little bugbear at the moment with games. Again, pricing just needs to be a little bit better, because there is only like 45 levels to the game and no additional game modes, so once they're done, that's pretty much it, done and dusted. But nevertheless, still a very good fun platformer. So I'm going to give Talent Not Included a 3 out of 5 and can recommend that you buy this straight away. It's just so much fun to play, and if you've got, like I say, got a co-op partner who can play it along with you as well locally, all the more fun there. And it's just, yeah, really pleasing platformer, and something a bit different, something we're not used to, something that sets it apart from all the other pixel art style indie platformers currently flooding the market. So yeah, definitely recommend this one. 3 out of 5. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next review.